Hi everybody, I had a request to go over this question. That's question 11 on page 199. It had to do with picking and looking in the independent events section. So you'd have to identify whether this is dependent or independent. And this one actually sort of shows us both of them. So the question, and I summarized it here on this little whiteboard here, and I'll just talk it through on page 199. So we've got Anne and Abby, and we had done a question with Anne and Abby, was one of the last ones we did before the break. So they each had 19 marbles, 11 red and 8 blue. Anne places 7 red marbles in bag 1 and 3 blue marbles, right? So here's bag 1. She places the rest of her marbles in bag 2, so you would just have to subtract. So 19 marbles total, take away 7. That gives us 4, and then the blue marbles, there was 8, 3 are there, 5 are there. So Abby places all her marbles in bag 3, which are here. So 11 red and 8 blue. So Anne then draws 1 marble from bag 1 and 1 from bag 2. Abby draws 2 marbles from bag 3. So question 11a, are Anne and Abby equally likely to draw 2 blue marbles from their bag? So what that looks like, the equally likely, so you would just decide what are the chances of Anne grabbing a blue marble from bag 1? Well, there's 3 of them, right? Out of a total of 10. So there's 3 blue marbles she can pick out of 10. We're then going to multiply that by here. There's 5 blue marbles, because the chances, what are the chances of them drawing 2 blue marbles? So there's 5 out of 4 plus 5 is 9, right? So then we would multiply those. Then we've got 15 over 90. Now we can put that into lowest terms or into a fraction. The fraction being 16%, right? 1.6 or 0.16 repeated. So what you're looking for is who's more likely, are they equally likely, or who's more likely to get 2? So getting in at the percentage is the best way to compare it. So then if we look at Abby, what's her chances? So she's going to pick 1 blue marble. She's got how many blue marbles in the bag? 8, right? So 8 chances out of, I'll just put that down for a minute, 19. Now she's going to pick another marble, right? She's picking 2 marbles. Then you'd have 1 less, right? So that's 7. Let's draw a line here because those are kind of meshing together. 7 over, there'll be 1 less marble in that bag because she's picking 2 at the same time. 18, right? So what are the chances that she's going to pick 2 blues? They're not saying anything about throwing the marbles back. So this would be for Abby's calculation. So this is for Abby, and this top one's for Anne. So 56 out of, what is it, 342, which gives us almost the same thing, a little bit more over 16, so 1637. So Anne is more likely, she has a greater chance because she's 6'6", right? So 16.7 and 16.3 or 4, I mean it's really close, but Anne is more likely to pick 2 blue marbles. So that would be the correct answer for part A of that one. So hopefully that one helps. For B, the way I looked up, I did this before with a tree diagram. You don't necessarily need to do that with a tree diagram, but let's look at the question. Determine the probability that Anne and Abby will both draw 1 red marble and 1 blue marble. Explain what you did. So if we stuck with Abby first, there's kind of an equally likely chance because she only has 1 bag to pick from, right? So I'll just put Abby here. Yeah, or we can even just look at this here. So Abby here, she's got to pick 1 red and 1 blue. There's 11 chances out of a total of 19 to pick a red, and then 8 chances out of a total of 18 to pick a blue, right? So that would be her chances. So 11 chances out of 19 to pick red. That's red times 8 chances, because there's 8 blue marbles, out of 18 total marbles left over. That's blue, right? So this would be Abby's chance, her chances or probability of picking one marble of each color. 11 red out of 19 total, 8 blue out of 18 left. If you flip the 18 and the 19, it would be the same, it would be fine. So then you're left with 88 over 342, which gives us a percentage of about 25%. 0.257, a little bit over 25%. So that's Abby's chances of getting a blue and a red marble. Now with Anne's, you could draw a tree diagram if that's helpful, or you could just decide there's a different probability if she picks the blue marble first or second, right? There's different chances. And I'll sketch that out for you. I'll just get rid of this first section. I guess I can erase the bottom. You can rewind the tape and get the other part yourself here. So I'll just erase the whole thing. So you could think through the tree diagram, or you can say, okay, well, Anne, here's the stats for the question. If she's going to pick a red marble first, there's 7 chances out of 10, right? So let's capture that here. 7 chances. This is still B, by the way. So 7 chances out of 10 for Anne to pick a red marble first, right? 7 chances out of 10. And for her to pick a blue marble second, we've got 5 chances out of 9 total, right? So 5 chances out of 9. And then we can calculate whatever that is, right? We would also have to calculate what are the chances of her getting a blue first and then a red second, because there's 2 bags, right? With Abby, there was only 1 bag, so we could just say 11 out of 19 and 8 out of 19, or 8 out of 18, right? Because she took the 1 marble away, right? Let me just write that down. 11 out of 18, then we can compare 8 out of 18, right? And this was for Abby. And then the top's here for Anne. So with that calculation, that is about 38%. I believe this repeats. So 38, you can round up to 0.9%. And then we also have the second one. So if she picked a blue one first, there's 3 chances out of 10, right? So if she picked blue first, 3 chances out of 10. And if she picked red second, that would be 4 chances out of 9. 4 chances out of 9. So that would be, well, you could go 12 out of 90 or just calculate it right away. That gives you about 13%. Then you add these 2 up to give you the chances of her picking 2 marbles. The percentages would vary because there's 2 bags, right? That's why we have the 2 percentages. So a little bit over a 50% chance, 52.2%, that Anne will pick 1 red, 1 blue. For Abby, remember, it was a little bit over 25%, what we had calculated here before, by multiplying these 2 fractions. So that would be the difference for part B. That's comparing who is more likely to pick 1 red, 1 blue. If you wanted to do the tree diagram, I could just show you. Let's see if that shows up on there. So you could pick Anne, red 70%, blue 30%. See, so you could do it that way if you just focus on that. So then if she picks red first, she can get either a blue or a red on the second, right? If she picks blue first, she get blue or red on the second. Then you would just multiply red, right? 0.7 times 0.55. And then blue 0.3 times 0.4 repeated to give you the total, right? Then here you'll notice at the bottom, then we have to subtract those 2 percentages. So how was it worded? Determine the probability that Anne and Abby will both draw, right? So you'd have to find the difference between the 2 that they both would draw. So that's at 26.4% that you see circled there. since it's saying what's the chances they'll both get it, not just one or the other. Those percentages on the whiteboard are just individual percentages. For them to both get it, then you need to subtract these two. So what did I say, 26.4? So that's the final answer. Okay, and then the last part, suppose Anne has 5 red marbles and 5 blue marbles in each of her 2 bags. Well, Abby has 10 red and 10 blue in one bag. So we can change our little summary board here. So Abby has 10 and 10, and Anne has 5 and 5, correct? So 5 blue, and then 5 red on each section. So for part C, we change our little stats to look like that. So 5 and 5 and 10 and 10. Will Abby still be more likely to draw 2 red marbles? So now we're looking at the chances of picking 2 red marbles for each person. So it'd be very similar to part A. So maybe give that one a try. I can leave that with you to try, then we can talk about it. But remember, you're thinking about what are the favorable outcomes overall possible. Favorable outcomes would be picking a 5, right? Or picking one of these 5 reds, and then also one of these 5 reds, right? These would be independent, right? Because the bags are separate. And then the favorable outcomes of picking a red marble out of this 10, you'd have 10, but then your all possible outcomes will jump down on the second fraction. So try part C on your own. Follow part A. It should be the same process as part A. Your final answer for that one should be 23.68 for Abby and 25% for Anne. But let me know. I can finish this off later. We can talk about it on the conference call if you like next class.